Okay guys, before we do get into the video, make sure you do subscribe if you're not already, so that you can help me reach my end year goal of 5,000 subscribers. Little disclaimer that I do in all types of my guides. Well, however you do your build, or however you play your build, or how you use your weapon is fine. I'm just making this guide for people who want to know how to use Ignition Deepcrusher, who haven't used it at all, or people who are, trying to get back into it and learn the basics. But yeah, with that out of the way, the Ignition Deepcrusher guide. Now, the requirements for Ignition Deepcrusher is 60 medium and 75 iron sing. The Ignition Deepcrusher is not like any weapon you have seen. Now, when you equipped it, it looks like a normal mace, but when you press Y, it changes to a sword. Now, the sword does more damage than mace form, but the mace form applies iron rods that you can use. You can press X and use whatever path you have for those rods. But if I were to give a recommendation for what you should use, I would say stick to the mace, and here's why. Depending on how you play, it could feel weird using the sword and shield. If you have a shield or a sword and gun or whatever secondary you have, it could be weird if you don't play that style. And I believe that having metal rods per hit is way more better than not having any rods at all. Its M2 is basically a metal eruption. You basically put your sword into the ground like a fire eruption and metal comes out. This also could proc rods, I believe. I don't know for sure, but yeah. Talents you want to go with this weapon, I would just say go the bleed talents, all the bleed talents, because this weapon also inflicts a good amount of bleed. And go all the iron sing, just go 100 iron sing if you're going this legendary, so you can get as much damage out as possible on this weapon, as much benefits. There's basically no requirement for all of the talents except for iron sing, and maybe there's 1 or 2 talents that require strength, but if you go 100 iron sing, you should be able to get all the iron sing talents. Now, builds for this, I've only seen metal builds so far, but I believe it can be paired with fire to get this new effect. I haven't really looked into it that much because trying to actually make a hybrid build with this is kind of near impossible, since you kind of have to go 100 iron sing in the first place, or at least 75 to equip the weapon, and 60 medium, which takes the chunks out of your investment points in the end. So if you're trying to do hybrid, you have to play around and try to find a perfect medium so that you are not being shredded or you're not missing out on damage. But yeah, there's not that much to Ignition Deepcrusher in terms of detail. You can even see that in the thumbnail on the left. Its description is literally nothing. There's no description whatsoever for the weapon, so I don't think that it's finished per se. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say on the Ignition Deepcrusher weapon, because you basically just have to go 100 iron sing for the weapon to make sure you use it efficiently and do a lot of damage. I don't think there's much detail to the weapon either. If you look at the thumbnail on the left, I always put the weapon's description, and the Ignition Deepcrusher has no description, so I don't know if they're even finished adding everything to Ignition Deepcrusher. But yeah, if you did find this guide helpful or enjoyed it, make sure you do what I said in the beginning. Subscribe so that you can help me reach my end-year goal of 5,000 subscribers. Comment down below if you have Ignition Deepcrusher, or if you're trying to make one, Ignition Deepcrusher build. And like the video so that other people who need this can see it. And most importantly, make sure to have a great day, guys, and see you guys within the next video.
You never see it coming.